Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddham Dhammang Sanghang Sanamasami. Good morning, dear friends, and welcome to this Sunday morning meditation time with the Dhammadharini Sangha. At this moment, Dhammadharini community here in California is approaching the time of our winter retreat. And we are thinking, how can we take care of all of the things we need to take care of? And at the same time, protect our hearts so that there's no hindrances coming up to meditation. How can we stay as peaceful as possible? How can we keep our mindfulness as clean as possible so that when we get an hour to sit for meditation, that we shall be capable of really getting the most out of that meditation and not wasting these precious opportunities to sit. And then later, when we have a chance for more extended time of meditation during our retreat starting in January, let's get the maximum by being able to go deep. Therefore, I'm particularly interested in those practices that help us to eliminate disturbances. And this morning, the theme that I've chosen for this morning and for today is about the Vedana, or the feeling. So strong feelings can be experienced as the gasoline that ignites disturbances, as the something that comes up without our intention or wanting it, that can cause the mind to be going into different proliferations about what we imagine or what we think or what we speculate or what we want, what we don't want, what we feel like we must do. So the Buddha very wisely made Vedana, the mindful contemplation of Vedana or feeling, central to the right mindfulness and the understanding of Vedana, central to the understanding of how dukkha works, how the mind can be caught up in going around and around with this cycle of dukkha. But there's a different way to take feeling, and that is to be very alert and very aware, really watching the ever-shifting shades of feeling that are happening with the mind or with the heart and with the body. Seeing how the feeling pops up, how it changes, how it disappears. And through this contemplation, both seeing what is where the feeling comes from, and also what that feeling is leading to, eventually the mind becomes disenchanted with feeling. So a feeling is just a feeling. We're aware of feeling, fully aware of feeling, present for the arising of feeling, but at the same time, it's only a feeling. Nothing to be upset about, nothing to be concerned about, nothing to get excited about. So we don't get very excited about a pleasant feeling, and we don't get excited about an unpleasant feeling. Instead, we are able to watch over the ever-shifting tone of feelings with equanimity, with an evenness of the mind. Or you could say it's almost as if you were able to take a bird's eye view, looking down at your own experience, what's changing in the body, what's changing in the mind. And it's just something to watch over, just something to be aware of. So with that preliminary thought, I'd like to welcome us to come to practice a bit of mind in the middle, open awareness of what's happening right now. And then at the end of the meditation, we can shift over and bring in the thought of loving kindness. And all the time, we're going to be aware, how does it feel? And it's more than just how does the stomach feel, or how does the back feel, or how does the mind feel, but the feeling is like a tone, like the whole experience comes together, and there's a feeling about it. Oh, I like this. Oh, what a relief, pleasant feeling. Oh, I can just stay and sit with this pleasant feeling. Not grasping or trying to hold on or hang on to a pleasant feeling. Not trying to have the greed come up so that we say, oh, that feels good. Let me get some more of that pleasant feeling. And the next thing you know, the mind has gone into some type of daydreaming because you start thinking about different pleasant things that give you pleasant feelings. Instead, staying within the meditation. When there's a pleasant feeling, just, okay, I can relax with that, it's pleasant. And then if there's a painful feeling that comes up, quickly look back, see where's that coming from. It could be something in the body which is painful, like the tightness of the chest, like some heartburn, like a tummy ache, like a knee pain, like some adrenaline that got pumped into the blood at that second. And so that's a feeling. We can connect it where it's located there. We might even at the very same time remember there's some thought that happened. Oh, I thought of that, and then all of a sudden there's an unpleasant feeling. Just evenly, with kindness, not getting reactive. It's unpleasant, okay. Relaxing around that painful feeling and not grasping or running about or being excited, just seeing it. The same way we didn't get excited about a pleasant feeling, we don't get excited about a painful feeling. And then if there's some neutral feeling, it's more difficult to even notice that, but we can notice that very clearly and feel like I don't need to go reaching after this. I don't need to go running away. This neutral feeling just allows me to be present, to watch, to understand, to see what's going on. So you keep watching those feelings, watching. And then eventually you no longer have a preference for one kind over another. A feeling is just a feeling. You just allow the feeling to happen. Coming to an upright and balanced posture. Aware of this physical body, the weight of the body pressing on the chair or the cushion, the upright posture of the body, how the hands are arranged. Aware of the sensations touching on the skin, where the hands are touching, where the feet are touching, where the seat is touching. Where the body touches the clothing, where the temperature of the air touches the skin. And aware of the sensations touching from the inside of the body, like any sensation in the muscles. like the movement of the heart, the movement of the breath. Any touching sensation that's noticeable, let awareness see and know that coming up anywhere on the surface or inside the body. And let the awareness move up and down the body, from the toes to the head, or from the head to the toes, noticing the feelings arising there. I can expand the field of awareness to just hold all of the touching sensations all over the body, on the surface of the skin and inside, receiving many, many touching sensations. If a thought comes along, quickly see if there's a feeling there and look back at the body, seeing if anything changed in the body. letting that awareness shine its light on every molecule in the body and all the touching sensations that come up. And during this last part of meditation, bringing in the thought of loving kindness, bringing a sentence of loving kindness. Very simple. May I be well and happy. May everyone be well and happy. Taking the phrase that you can pronounce, and silently, clearly enunciating those words of kindness. Aware of the real meaning of kindness. Silently saying those words to yourself with the sincerity, truly intending for your happiness and welfare and for all beings. The same wish. And if the feeling changes from before while holding this thought, there's a feeling connected with kindness. Noticing that feeling, even noticing in the body. Imagine the feeling of kindness filling up the body, so the whole body is pervaded, saturated, soaked with kindness. And letting this thought of kindness radiate outwards. May all the beings in front of me be well and happy. May all the beings on my right side be well and happy. May all the beings behind me be well and happy. May all the beings on my left side be well and happy. May all the beings above me be well and happy. May all beings below me be well and happy. Letting that thought of kindness radiate out in every direction, touching every being with the thought of kindness. And then letting go of the sensations, letting go of the body, letting go of imagination, just letting everything go. Coming to rest. And gently emerging from meditation. And during these last few minutes, there's time for your questions or your report about how this meditation goes for you. And what do you think would happen to your life if you became completely equanimous about all kinds of feeling without getting too excited about any feeling whatever? I'm going to call on Damon.
Good morning, everyone. Say, Ayya, while I was meditating, I wanted to ask you afterwards that I had a mental experience. I had thoughts about uh, somebody came to clean the carpets yesterday, and I thought the job looked like it was going well. I followed them around, and the carpets looked cleaner, and I gave the guy like a $40 tip. And then today, when the carpets dried, I noticed the portions on the stairs were like filthy, like worse than when he started. And I'm sure there's a fix for this, but all of a sudden, during meditation, I had this thought of like, wow, that guy really didn't deserve the $40 tip now that I think of it. but like I'm like taking back the kindness that I extended yesterday. It's terrible feeling.
Yes, isn't that how it goes? These things happen to us in meditation. So I guess if you would like zoom out and do the news of the world today, even in one day, all of the things that happen in the whole world, and then maybe the neglect of that person who cleaned the rugs is not the most important thing of the day, but it really took over the mind. And then even like next month, you might not even be able to recollect how that irritated feeling was for you when you had that recollection.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So this is one of the great, I think, a really good meditation to do with feelings is to see how ephemeral feelings are, how they come and go. A feeling can be so strong, and even like you could commit a crime based on a feeling. Somebody could commit a strong comma because they're reacting to some feeling, but the feeling hardly lasts very long, and the feeling itself is not really that important. And so, if in that moment during the meditation, um, if you were able to simply do like forgiveness, like okay, because of conditions, the mind lost the meditation for a second because this feeling came in based on this, memory of something that happened earlier this morning. Um, and just, you see, like this is how it is in life. We're continuously being pulled and pushed around by our reactions and the feelings that come up because of the things that happen. So if you gave up being aggravated when people don't do what they should, would that make you be like sad to have to give up your aggravation?
Yeah.
Would you be willing? Would you be willing to try to, um, yeah, to give up aggravation? And it's not easy to do that. It's really not easy to do that. But you can see the impact that there you are practicing loving kindness, and and you've got one being in the whole universe who is not included in your circle of kindness because you're aggravated with them.
Thank you. Yes, well taken. Well said. Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. It's a wonderful report and a wonderful like example. These are the things that happen in meditation all the time, um, and so we can be aware with wisdom of how that's going. Okay, I'll call on Anita and Saket.
Good morning, Aya. Just wanted to share, I really appreciated the part of the meditation where if a thought comes, we try to find if there's an associated feeling or what is the change in the body. So I could, in some cases, find a good correlation. For example, my cat came and sat in front of me, and then I was thinking of that, and there's like this whole like, wanting to cuddle the cat and all, and I could see all of those like feelings come on pretty strong. So that was very interesting to see, and in many cases I couldn't really figure out what the matching, if there's any feeling associated, but in several cases I could, and I could mm, imagine that that's a practice worth developing.
I highly recommend trying to develop that practice, and really, this is it's not exactly samadhi or tranquil meditation, but it's like doing our push-ups to develop the muscle of mindfulness, to be able to quickly have the awareness seeing these things that come up. There's one person in the room who's had been in the Goenka training for a long time, and I think that you must have had that experience of being aware of the sensations and seeing how they get associated with different kinds of thoughts that come along. And so then after having done that intentional exercise, then you can stop being so intentional about it, or because it's a little bit like it's too heavy or too it's too much activity of the mind. So after you've learned it, then it can sort of become intuitive and sort of like automatic. It's like when you're walking, you don't have to think, I'm going to lift the foot, move the foot, place the foot. You're not constantly thinking about walking. You're just walking naturally without even needing to think about it at all. So then once you practice this awareness, like noticing thoughts and noticing the changes that come connected with the thoughts, then it just becomes intuitive and you don't have to make the effort anymore. It's just something that happens naturally. The mindfulness is just there. And that's a very, pleasant state. So that's good. Thank you. Do you have another thing to say? No? You have something, Anita?
I was in two minds whether I should share or not, Aya, but yes, definitely. For me, it really reflects. Suddenly, the thought came in my mind that body doesn't need much. It's the mind who keeps looking for these pleasant feelings of having a beautiful place or eating something really delicious. Um, and then and then it occurred to me that, the mind actually tortures the body many times. And body is just needs a place to rest, simple food to eat, a place to take it out, and a place to lie down. I mean, it just doesn't need much, and the mind keeps wanting more and more and more, and this relationship between the body and the mind is so uneven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
uh, just because the mind wants some pleasant feelings.
right. Yes, it's true um, that to be a human being is a kind of like being condemned to a certain type of a torture chamber because of the way that the mind is continuously aggravating. We aggravate ourselves all the time with the mind. There's a particular sutta. I don't have the number handy, but in the Sutta Central, Bhante Sujato translate that sutta name as itchy. Well, the world is itchy. So you can read that sutta and it will agree that say you're exactly right, that we torture ourselves with our thoughts and with our perceptions and with our feelings and with our reactions.
Yeah, yeah. That was good to, yeah, good to have that understanding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll call on Maggie.
Um, I became aware of, like, in just the second or the nanosecond that a thought would come, I would then disconnect from the body. And I could see that disconnect. I mean, I would lose track of the body. I had to kind of then, it seemed like I couldn't do it together. I couldn't have the thought and locate the body at the same time. There seemed to be a separation, just a nanosecond where I could not connect, that I had to kind of do it in two steps, which felt a little tedious sometimes. I wish I could just feel synchronous with the thought and the feel and the body.
Yes, it's true. Uh, this is how, as a result of really developing mindfulness, we are aware of this momentary quality of our experience, that at any given moment we're aware of one thing. So even even though I was saying to include the whole body from head to toe within the spectrum of awareness, you're not necessarily able to be aware of the whole body altogether as a unity, but instead, you're aware of different points, different places in the body that have a clear sensation at any given moment. And then the thoughts are so powerful that a thought is able to wipe away, to just blow away our body awareness for the time that the mind is caught up in that thought. And it's for that reason that it takes a lot of training of the mind to stay as continuous as possible with awareness. And then, later on in meditation, it can happen that what's just been talked about, we want to scold the rug man, cleaner man, we want to cuddle the cat, we want to think about whatever the thought is that was coming to you, and this causes the sort of a disruption or aggravation of the experience of meditation. There is a kind of meditation where these types of thoughts are not arising. And that kind of meditation, it's not that you want to think you should be like that all day long, because it's impossible. But during the meditation, to take a holiday from thinking in that way, and to just be present without the disturbance of the thoughts, is so peaceful. It's very healing. It's almost like the brain itself is able to recover and take a rest from this constant thinking that we're doing. But in the meantime, yes, we notice that the thought comes in, takes over the mind, and then the thought is finished, and then the mind is, or I should say, attention is available to return and connect with noticing the feeling sensations. This is how quick and movable the mind is. Now, what wisdom comes to you when you notice that the sensations are there and then they're not, and then they're back, and then they're gone? That the thoughts are there, then it's gone. What does this teach you?
Well, clearly, for me, it teaches me, on a very experiential level, the truth of impermanence, if that's what you're getting at.
Yes? That's exactly right. And then you say, is that which is permanent, which is impermanent, changeable and unreliable, dukkha or sukha? And then the answer in the suttas is, it's dukkha, Venerable Sir. And then you say, if this ever-changing, unreliable, constantly shifting experience that we have is impermanent, unreliable, and dukkha, then should we consider that this is myself? And then we can give up the self-centered, conceited way of clinging to things, because we eventually just give up on trying to cling. It's not only is it impermanent, it's going by so quickly you couldn't even cling onto it because it's already gone. But even so, then you lose the desire to cling on to these things, because why bother? Why cling to this way that our experiences, which is so inherently, in a kind of a tedious way, unreliable, ever-changing, and not able to be controlled. So that's sort of putting the silver lining to that sort of cumbersome or aggravated or mildly unpleasant thing of trying to be aware of the sensations and noticing that you lost it just for a nanosecond when the thought came up. And then when the thought is over, you're able to come back. But impossible to connect to both of them at the same time because of the nature of the mind. So then it's the way it is, and just simply relaxing and watching how these phenomena keep going by and not identifying with it. I'm not saying this is my precious eternal self.
Mm.
I think that might be enough for this morning. We can close by giving respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teachings so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Okay, thank you everybody for coming in and for your practice and your patient listening today.
Thank you, Venerable.